It's Ken Bach coming to you live from my place in South Daytona Beach. Just want to talk to you for a minute about a little cooking here, and I want to tell you a little history of what I started out in and how I came about. Because I always talk about how I've been a motivational speaker for years now, and I started out, I was 17 years old. I quit school. My mom passed away when I was 11 years old, and really nobody was encouraging me. Matter of fact, I was even getting F's in school because I'd go to school and I put my head down, and because I was bored, and nobody spanked my ass and told me to get my shit together and do what I had to do, and really nobody inspired me. Okay, well, basically when I turned 17 years old, I went to some of you may know this because you might have heard about it. Excuse my camera, the damn extender here keeps screwing up on me, but I'm coming to you live and I'm showing you what shit happens. Stuff happens. That's all I can say. Anyway, we'll see if we can keep it turned here. But I went to a job interview and I found out it was an opportunity. And what I mean by that is this gentleman named Gary O'Malley. I'm going to turn around so maybe you can see me a little better here, and give you a little sight of my collection in the background. I'm into collecting. I'm a girlish guy. How's that? And I'm proud of it because of the way I started out and the way I came through life. So I'm proud of my past. And what I mean by that, because there was times when I was doing what I did, I actually covered my mouth when they asked me what I did. I was like, "What do you do?" They said, "What do you do?" I said, and sometimes when I knock on people's door, they'd say, "Who is this?" I say, because I wanted them to open the door so I could tell them what I was doing. But the point is, I went to this interview, and I sat through this presentation, and this gentleman, like I said, named Gary O'Malley, he inspired me. But what really inspired me was the fact that there was 30 people in the room, and like I said, I had long hair down to my ass. If I didn't mention it, I'm mentioning it now. And I was going in the direction of nowhere, okay? And going to the beach all the time, having a good time, but not really having a direction or a purpose. And so I went to this interview, and after the interview, he talked to some of the people, and then he came to me. And he talked to me, and he looked me in my eyes. Let's see if you can see my eyes here. My beautiful green eyes. But really, I want you to look into my eyes for a minute, because I want to show you how he talked to me. He asked me some questions, okay? And after he was done asking some questions, he said, I'll tell you what. He said, if you get your hair cut, I'll hire you. He said, I see something in you. And he's looking me square in the eye, and nobody's ever told me that before, okay? So from what I seen from the presentation, I was like, this sounds like something I might want to do. Well, what it turns out was, it was selling cookware door to door, okay? And you might think selling cookware door to door, what is this all about? Well, what it's all about is, that's where I learned how to become a motivational speaker, okay? And what I mean by that is we trained our people, and the company got bigger. I grew with the company. I became one of the youngest district managers the company had. Sometimes I had 30, 40 people working for me in West Palm Beach, and I pretty much ran West Palm Beach. At first, I worked for a gentleman named Kirk Henderson. He trained me. He was under Gary O'Malley, but Gary O'Malley, I'll never forget him because he's the one that changed my life. He hired me, okay? And he showed me the difference between a job and an opportunity. And again, I'm going to explain what I mean. Is a job you just go to and go to work every day, you show up, and sometimes you're crying and moaning and bitching and never get the right kind of job done. An opportunity is somebody inspires you, and you discover when you go to work, you learn how to turn off the switch from whatever you're doing, and you turn on the switch to become the person that you want to be, okay? And you should always be the person you want to be. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, if you're having trouble at home or anything that's going on, you got to learn how to turn that switch off and turn the switch on when you go to work. Well, what I did is, I would always take somebody with me when I was training, and I learned how to, like I said, I was doing my own hiring and firing in West Palm Beach. I would go to the Marriott and set up things, and by the way, when I was 20 years old, we bought our first house, but I also had a brand new Volvo at the time, and I got married when I was 18. It was a wonderful thing, okay? Marriage is a wonderful thing, because a good woman helps make a man become a great man, okay? But anyway, I was married for 23 years. I'm not married now, but that's part of my life, another story. But getting back to this story, is I learned how to get in front of people and talk to them about being successful in anything, because the basic principles that we talked about were principles of getting focused, learning your trade, being proud of what you're doing, and selling a good product, being involved with a good company. I could go on, and I'll go on at another time, but I want to talk about just a few things right now. What I learned is some nutritional things and how to cook back then. Don't get me wrong, I learned how to cook from my mom years ago. And I mentioned that my mom passed when I was 11 years old. I always thought I was 10, but my sister, a year older than me, she told me no, I was 11. So she corrected me on that. So if you ever see anything where I wrote something that said I was 10, I was actually 11. So excuse me for that. But I sure miss her. Let me tell you that I miss her a lot. But getting back to this, that damn, excuse me, I got to fix this 1 second. Okay, I think I corrected the problem. I got a long shoehorn here to hold it, help hold it steady. Anyway, this is the cookware I sold when I was 17 years old. When I got married, we got this for a wedding gift, and when we got divorced, we split it up. But the point is, I still have it, meaning that's how quality of a product was. It was waterless cookware, and right now I'm cooking some things. I want to show you I know how to cook, all right? And what I'm cooking here, I got some chicken going on there. I don't know if you can see it, but what I got in there is I got some olive oil. I got some two chicken breast. Again, I'll try to show you as much as I can, but I'll explain it to you. I put some flax seeds on it because that's healthy for you. I put some, like I said, olives in there and olive oil, virgin olive oil. Okay. I like my stuff a little spicy. I've been getting into spice because I found out how good spice is for you. I put some New Orleans, I use this on my fish, but I use it on my chicken also. And I put a little dash of crushed red pepper in there, okay? And of course I like pepper on there. That's what I got in here, okay? And I also got some celery, some fresh celery cut up in there. And that just got done, okay? But I prepared it all right? And I put slices in my chicken so it would cook faster. Well, that's done, and that's a good part. But getting back to this, what I got over here is on the bottom, I got some brown rice. Let's see if I can get there. Cooking on the bottom. You can see it. Just focus in on that. And on the top here, I'm steaming. I got broccoli on the bottom. Let's see if you can see that. And on the top, I got green zucchini. And on the bottom with the brown rice, I got a little bit of olive oil instead of butter. I don't use butter anymore. I got rid of butter, okay? But that virgin olive oil. And I also put a dash, again, of my New Orleans in there, in the rice. Because, again, I like a little spicy, all right? But when I go to serve my chicken, I'm going to put this in there, some roasted pepper strips, okay? That's for my dinner, okay? Before my lunch, I got it prepared over here. I put some turkey on the bottom, turkey slices on the bottom, and on the top I got some, I'm looking right at it, but give me a second. Let's see, oh yeah, sauerkraut. Got sauerkraut on there. And what I want to talk about is I try to eat nutritionally sound, and I do a lot of walking. I've been walking for years. I got it all documented. And but the point is, I lost 30 pounds in the last 8 months, and I've been managed to keep it off. But the point is, the way I managed to do that was I not only got eating right, but I'm also got, let's see if we can get some light on this subject over here. I'm going to show you, I implemented a lot of vitamins because I've been listening to somebody. I'll give him a little credit. Dr. St. Germain over in Orlando. It's called Burn Fat Orlando. But what they do, and I'm not saying I got everything what they got, but I actually went there. And but like I said, I'm giving them credit for, I listen to them all the time on the radio. But I got all different types of vitamins here. But one of the main vitamins I got, and again, I'm not selling these vitamins, but I'm telling you what I take. And because when I turned 57, I just turned 60, by the way. And I feel better than when I turned 40. And but the point is, getting back to this, when I first started taking these vitamins, what they do is they take the plaque out of your blood and the metal out of your blood. Well, when you take that out of your blood, everything functions better, okay? So you start losing weight, and your kidneys are working better, Your pancreas is working better. Your liver's working better because it's getting that fat from around it, and also the blood flow is going to it, you see? So that makes it work better. But then again, I started taking grape seed. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just go run them down real quick. Korean pancreas, Panax ginseng, excuse me, green tea, milk thistle. That's for men, not for women. I take something called Lung Renew for my lungs, from all the years I did my partying, but to clean out my lungs. Complete multivitamin for men for your age category, and Super B complex to help get your metabolism going. That's what it's really all about. And then glucosamine sulfate for your joints. And make sure you get the sulfate with the glucosamine, because from what I hear from Dr. St. Germain is that it helps your joints, okay? Helps it stick to your joints, excuse me. But anyway, getting back to my food over here, is I believe that you as a person, and I'm talking about men and women, you have to decide in your life if you're going to be successful. You have to decide in your life if you're going to learn how to cook. You have to decide in your life if you're going to be a well-balanced person. And I believe in being well-balanced, see? Because when you're well-balanced, you feel good when you wake up in the morning, because you know you can cook your food. You know you don't have to run out and get fast food. And you prefer to cook your own food, and you prefer to eat your own food because you know how to cook well, okay? And let's get back some light on me here so you can look how pretty I am. But excuse me. But what I'm getting at is sometimes you have to learn how to do what you need to do for you, okay? Just like I had to figure out how to lose weight, because here I was walking my dog every other day, sometimes every day, for 2 miles, and I couldn't seem to get rid of that 30 pounds when I turned 40. And I was like, what's going on here? So I was up to 230. Now I'm down to 200, and I feel great. Actually, I was up to 235, and I'm down to 205. Excuse me. I want to correct that so you know where I'm at. But I want to get down to about probably 190. Actually, I like to look stocky, okay? So that's me. Look at me, okay? But what I'm getting at is you got to eat nutritionally and make sure things are well at home, okay? And what I mean by that is if you're living by yourself, make sure you know how to take care of yourself. Make sure you know how to do what you need to do. Make sure you're cooking good things. Make sure you're buying good things, okay? You have good things in the house. One of the things that helped me lose weight, and I've been using it for years on my feet, is apple cider vinegar. Let's see if we can get that in there, okay? Apple cider vinegar. But now I drink it. I put a shot glass. First of all, I make myself a cup of tea, okay? And in that tea, I either use green tea bags, you know, or I use a balanced tea bag. All right, I'm going to throw this together real quick because I'm almost done. I put a teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon. That's from Walmart, by the way. I use good honey. I don't use sugar. I got rid of sugar out of my diet. Sugar can cause cancer, folks. Find it out. Check into it and get away from it. Raw sugar. If you're going to have it, have just a little bit, but I'm telling you, it's not good for you, okay? And again, don't take my word for it. Please look it up. But then I put a shot glass of apple cider vinegar in my tea, and I like to drink it while it's still hot, and I believe it also helped me lose weight, because it helped. The apple cider, what it does, it helps correct your balance in your stomach, and helps clean out your intestinal tract. And then also one of the things I take is probiotics, okay? You decide how you want to take them, but that also helps your intestinal tract. Because what you want to do is get healthy from the inside out, okay? You can look good on the outside. That's why on some of my magazines that I have going on, one of them, I say, are you pretty on the inside and on the outside? Okay, what I mean by that, you can look good on the outside, but are you healthy on the inside? And do you have a good attitude? Well, I also drink aloe. I drink it a little bit every time I eat or I take a vitamin. I'll take a quarter of a glass and drink it. And this particular one, I really believe in it because it has wild berry in it. And you can look at it. You can get that from Walmart or Publix. And I buy it by the gallon. Sometimes I buy 2 gallons at a time. Now I'm going to wrap this up because this is going a little long here. But I wanted to tell you what I do. Another thing I put in the chicken, by the way, I forgot to mention, is minced. Let's see if we can get that in the thing here. minced garlic. I buy that from Walmart. They say garlic is really good for you. And so I got that in with my chicken. But what I'm getting at, folks, is you have to focus on you. And if you want to love your wife, or you want to love your mother or your father, you got to love you, okay? If your mother gave birth to you and you don't love your mother, shame on you. If you're a daughter, because I have a daughter right now I haven't talked to in 10 years. And forgive me for putting this out there, but I got to do it. Because I love my daughter dearly, okay? Something happened in our relationship, but we're still blood, and I believe she should come back and forgive me, and because I've done forgiving everybody else. And part of it was because of our divorce, and I really would like to see my ex-wife talk to her father again. She hasn't talked to her father in years. And it's a shame, because when somebody helped create you and helped raise you, you should be man or woman enough to respect them and love them, okay? I have a friend of mine recently. I've just gotten mad at him because he just doesn't love his mom anymore for what they did to him. But you know what? It doesn't matter. You're still blood, okay? You're blood. Your mom gave birth to you. Your dad helped in part of that process. And the fact is, both your parents love you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's some families out there that fathers and moms abuse them. I'm not talking about those kind of families. But I'm talking about, I never abused my daughter, okay? I never spanked my daughters. And I love both my daughters the same. So this is going to be on one of my pages, Eating for Life, on YouTube. But it's also going to be at KB Thinskin or KeNnth BACH and You on YouTube. So you can check this out and check my video out. But also just remember, like I said, I'm proud of how I got started. And I'm proud of where I came from, cooking that rice. And I'm proud of where I'm going. You know, and I practiced these principles since I was 17. I've done other things. I got in the car business, did some other things. But I always practiced the basic principles that I learned from the cookware business. And I learned how to speak in front of people. When I went into the car business, they didn't have to train me. All they had to do was show me the paperwork. And what I used to do when I go into different, because I'd done pest control, I'd done different things. I was in management, sales and management. Like I said, in the cookware business, I was the youngest district manager they had. But the point, what I'm getting at is, once you learn the basics in life and how to smile at people, how to present yourself, how to give a good handshake, how to, as a woman, to look a person in the eye, or a man, to look the other person in the eye and shake their hand. And what I used to tell them if I had a job interview or something like that, is when it came my turn to talk to them, and when I was all done, I made sure when I was shaking their hand, I said, I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to make you a lot of money. I never said making me a lot of money. I know I'm going to make me money, but I'm talking about making them money. And I also sometimes would tell them, you'll never have a hard time out of me. And anywhere I worked, I also worked at Sears part-time for 6.5 years when I was also selling cars. But what I'm getting at is, I never gave anybody a hard time, because I believe in killing people with kindness, including your boss, including the managers, and always tell them you're not after their job, even though you might be. But what I'm getting at is, find satisfaction in what you're doing, and just challenge yourself to keep going to different levels. That's why I had to do different things in my life, because I'm a Gemini. I'm a moody person, and I learned how to control my moods. But the point is I've done different things because I had to get re-inspired. It's like when I was first in school, I wasn't inspired, so I put my head down, and there was times I got F's in there, and it's not because I was stupid. It was just because I didn't want to do it, and nobody got me involved. But all I can say is, find out what inspires you, and find out if you can inspire others. Because if you can inspire others, then it will inspire you. Because that's the benefit I get of doing things for free, is helping others. It's the best thing I've ever done. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out now. It's just under 20 minutes. So if you like to look at my videos and find out what I'm about, and find out I'm also a good cook, that, you know, my point is that this video is to be a well-balanced person. Okay, know how to get up in the morning. And like I seen on my nephew's site recently, I'm trying to think of what it said. It said, don't, get up in the morning, get dressed, and no matter what, go to work. kind of like that. I didn't memorize it actually, but I understood it. Meaning, you know, do what you got to do. Just like me, when I'm done here, I'm going to go do my chores because I take care of my own properties, and I cut my own properties. I get involved in my own properties, and I have a convenience store that I never stepped foot in, and I created it. But and it's coming to an end here in a couple of years. I've had it for 13 years, and it's coming to an end here in 2 years. But what I mean is because it's going to end up paying me off. But the point is, go after your dreams, be who you want to be, and make life a challenge. And quit. Okay, I'm going to say it. I don't usually like to cuss in my videos, but I'm going to say it. Don't bitch and moan, okay? Because no matter who's in office, and I'm talking about presidency, no matter who's your governor or who's your mayor in your town, they're not going to make you successful or make you fail. You are going to make you successful or make you fail. You have to wake up and say, look, I have to get out of bed, I got to go to work, and I'm going to be who I want to be no matter who's in office, in anything. And quit complaining and moaning. Okay, so get out and be who you want to be. This is KeNneth BACH. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.